What's up, everybody? Takoma Park, Maryland was incorporated in 1890 and was designed to be a commuter suburb for Washington, D.C. It borders D.C. and is just a great place to live in Montgomery County if you want to be close to the city. So today I'm going to go through my top pros and cons of living in Takoma Park, Maryland. So let's just dive right in. And if you're thinking about moving to Maryland or D.C. or Virginia and you would like our help, just send us an email, we'll set up a Zoom, we'll get you started. So before we get to my first pro, let me just tell you a little bit about Takoma Park, Maryland. Like I said, it is located in Montgomery County, Maryland. It's bounded by Washington, D.C. to the south, Silver Spring, Maryland to the northwest and north, and Langley Park, Maryland to the northeast. There's a population of about 18,000 people. According to worldpopulation.com, the median age in Takoma Park is 38.7 years old. I don't know how they come up with that 0.7. But it's pretty young age for it to be the median age. And just to break it down a little further, it's 38.1 years for males and 39.6 for females. So my first pro about living in Takoma Park, Maryland has got to be the location/commute. Like I said, Takoma Park borders Washington, D.C. Right on the other side of the border is Tacoma, Washington. So if you want to live in Montgomery County, Maryland and want to be as close to the city as possible, Takoma Park is a great choice. You have direct access right into DC, where you can enjoy all that DC has to offer, including the amazing free Smithsonian museums, our fabulous zoo with our pandas, all the different restaurants, just everything that DC has to offer, you have your back door if you live in Takoma Park, Maryland. In fact, the motto in Takoma Park, Maryland is big city perks, small town quirks. You're also right next to Silver Spring, Maryland, where we have Holy Cross, one of our bigger hospitals, so it's an easy commute there as well. Tacoma Metro, which is located across the border in DC, is still super close to all the homes in Takoma Park, Maryland, so most of the residents still use that Metro stop to get into DC. To get from Tacoma into the center of DC to Metro Center Station takes about 20 minutes. Route 29 makes for a straight drive into the nation's capital, while Interstate 495 lets residents circle around downtown DC. But be prepared for some extra traffic and commute time if you do take 495. Takoma Park, Maryland also offers the ride-on bus to get around locally, as well as the MARC commuter train for getting into DC and also other parts of Maryland. So if you are moving to the DC area but you want to be really centrally located and have all these great ways to get around Maryland and DC, Takoma Park, Maryland is a great choice. So my second pro why you might want to pick Takoma Park is got to be it has a huge sense of community. Takoma Park is well known for its music scene, with Celtic, blues, and progressive folk music festivals being held on a regular basis. Street performers are also a regular presence in the area's downtown and historic district neighborhoods. For the less musically inclined, Takoma Park offers many opportunities for residents to get involved with their sustainability efforts, including the curbside food waste collection and water bottle refill stations located throughout the city. Held in the historic district, the Takoma Park Farmers Market is a Sunday staple for many residents. It's held year-round, and the market offers fresh produce, fresh breads, eggs, meats, cheeses, as well as selections from the area's top wineries. That's one of my favorites. Vendors must be within 125 miles of Takoma Park to participate, so you can be assured that you're supporting the local economy. At the Crossroads Farmers Market, you'll find all of the different neighbors and foodies and wine lovers and music lovers that all gather around on Wednesday afternoon, have lunch together, and stock up on their produce for the week. It really is a strong sense of community. There's also international shopping and dining along the New Ave, where you can find restaurants from Africa to the Caribbean to India to Southeast Asia. There's a huge list of them. I'll put a link below so you can check it out. And if that isn't enough, Takoma Park has a charming main street filled with cafes, restaurants, bike shops, and more. There is just a really strong sense of community here. I can't emphasize it enough. From kids yoga and art camp to their famous 4th of July parade and 4th of July party afterwards, you'll just always get to know your neighbors and really feel like you belong in this community if you live in Takoma Park. My next pro about living here is that Takoma Park is stunningly beautiful. Takoma Park is known as Azalea City because of the botanical work of one of its leading citizens, Benjamin Y. Morrison, who was born in 1891. Mr. Morrison was the first director of the United States National Arboretum, and his azalea hybrids can be found throughout the town, including in the gardens of the 1894 Thomas Siegler House, the first house built in Takoma Park. So you can imagine the springtime in Takoma Park when all the azaleas are blooming, all those vibrant colors as you're walking around. It really is spectacular. My next pro about living in Takoma Park is if you are like-minded, and it is part of the fabric of living here, is that Takoma Park is very liberal and very progressive. The city of Takoma Park has been recognized for its leadership in combating climate change and promoting sustainability. There was an article written about Takoma Park in the New York Times. Here's what it had to say. Considered one of the most progressive cities in the United States, Takoma Park, a suburb immediately northeast of Washington, D.C., is not just a nuclear-free zone, a hotbed of former Peace Corps volunteers, and a municipality that has extended the local vote to non-citizens and 16 and 17-year-olds. It is also home to an impressive number of healthy, mature trees. So if you're the type of person that likes to get involved in these different causes like combating climate change or promoting sustainability, Takoma Park is a great place for you. My next pro about living here has got to be diversity. According to the same article in the New York Times, almost 1/3 of its 18,000 residents were born outside of the United States. And the Takoma Park website, it's got its own website, can be translated into many different languages with just one click. And the housing styles in Takoma Park are just as diverse as the population. You have a mix of the late 19th century neo-Gothic farmhouses, 1920 bungalows, mid-century ranch houses, and contemporary houses, all mixed in within this small area of Takoma Park. So I think I've given you a pretty good picture of Takoma Park as far as the pros. Let's get into some of the cons. So the first con about living there is that it is expensive to live there. Now, is it more affordable than its neighbor Bethesda or maybe even Washington, D.C.? It can be depending on the housing that you choose. But compared to the rest of Maryland or the rest of the country, it is definitely expensive. The median home value in Takoma Park is $725,000. This is higher than the county median price of $508,000. The national median home value, just for comparison purposes, is about $278,000. The Takoma Park neighborhood of Carroll Manor is one of the more expensive neighborhoods. Many of the homes in this neighborhood were built in the Craftsman and mid-century style and built between 1941 and 1969. The cost of living of Takoma Park, Maryland is $148.7, which is compared to the US average of $100. Take a look at this chart by bestplaces.net, where you can see the difference between Takoma Park compared to the rest of Maryland, compared to the rest of the country. The biggest differentials you can see are with housing and transportation. The average household income in Takoma Park is approximately $123,000 with a poverty rate of 8.69% according to worldreviewpopulation.com. So it is expensive to live in Takoma Park. It's just less expensive than Bethesda or Chevy Chase or parts of DC. But it's still expensive to live here, so it's going on the con list. My next con about living in Takoma Park has got to be traffic. When you're this close to DC, to this city, and it is quite a small area with a lot of people, you're just going to have to deal with the traffic. I mean, there aren't a lot of places in Montgomery County that you don't have to deal with traffic. In fact, there's not a lot of places in the state of Maryland where you don't have to deal with a lot of traffic because we're a lot of people in a small state. So I have to put it up there because traffic is kind of hard if you live in Takoma Park because you are so close to the city and you're surrounded by all those other cities. But you do have the access to the metro and the MARC train and the commuter buses. My next con, which actually may not be a con to you, just like some of my pros may not be a pro to you, it just depends on your sensibilities, is that if you are going to live there, you are going to have to deal with an older house. Takoma Park was incorporated in 1891, and by 1913, it was the biggest city in Montgomery County. So it's been around for a while. So most of the homes in Takoma Park are going to be on the older side. Does that mean that they don't have charm? They do. There's incredible charm in these houses. but they are going to be on the older side. So I just wanted to put that out there. So that's really my last con about living in Takoma Park, Maryland. There are some other cons about living in Maryland as a whole, but you can check out my videos on that. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you got some value out of it. Takoma Park is a very special place to live, which I think you can tell by my description of it. And if you're interested in Takoma Park, Maryland, or any place in Maryland, or DC, or Virginia, and you'd like me and my team to help you, just send us an email, we'll set up a Zoom, we'll get you started. We promise to make this move as seamless as possible. Thank you so much for watching. It takes a lot of work to make these videos. So if you'd like to show us some support, you can do that by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and commenting below. It helps us with the YouTube algorithm and motivates us to make more videos. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Bye!